Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah. So, I'm Chota Singh, and this is Hadi Long. I think two of us are kind of chairing this conference. Yeah. Together, we'd like to welcome you to Singapore. And for those on the Zoom, I think it's I suppose a good morning, good afternoon, or good night to all of you. Yeah. I just want to kind of mention actually about a year ago when we decided to bid for this conference, I think we were kind of a bit uncertain on how this conference is going to be like. We are kind of worried that we might be caught in the transitions like all the previous conferences in the past 3 years. Yeah, and then actually we had to make decision at that time on whether you're going to make it physical. If it's physical, how big a space you want to allocate for and things like that. And so we kind of make a decision. Yeah, we want to go physical and with a capacity of 300. And fortunately, I think that works out. I think so. So I think we are kind of here to welcome you. I think the physical participations, I think the registrants is about 300 plus. And then another 150 online. I think Hadi will give you a kind of very detailed layout outline of this. Yeah. So I think just welcome you again to Singapore, and I'll like to pass to Hadi to give you details of the organization of this conference.
Right. So welcome to Singapore. I think for those of you who are just new to Singapore, essentially Singapore is a multicultural country. So there we have welcome in all the national languages of Singapore as well. Now, for what many people may not already be familiar with, Wisdom is actually supported by 4 SIGs, SIG-IR, KDD, SIGMOD, and SIGWeb on equal basis. And of course, we are going to kind of tell you about some of the organization details on behalf of the chairs, myself and Prof. Chua, as well as the PC chairs who unfortunately cannot be here in person, but they send their best regards to everyone in attendance as well. So Lose, Avi Maria, and Panayotis are the PC chairs for Wisdom 2023. And of course, we are grateful for all the organization efforts by the organizing committee. Many of them are in attendance either right now or in the conference itself. This conference couldn't have happened without the contributions of all these wonderful people. Now, we are now in person. I think for the past 2 years, the conference has been virtual, mainly because, well, in 2022, they actually wanted to go in person, but last minute they had to change to virtual because of Omicron. So we didn't take it for granted. I think all along in the organization, we really take the steps to kind of try to support both the physical as well as a hybrid. So today we are at Carlton, but there are also people who are joining us remotely via Zoom and OVA. And we are also supported by the video lectures team. As you can see, they are also helping us with the hybrid and the AV systems as well. Now, this is the attendance as of Sunday. And actually, there are still some trickling registrations coming in. But essentially, we receive about 450 something registration participants overall, including all the volunteers. And about 3/4 are in person. I think this is wonderful. And we really welcome all of you. And it's really great to meet everybody face to face again. And well, 40% are students. I think we really like the idea that a lot of students are active and helping us to grow the community into the future as well. Now, attendance-wise, I think if you kind of look at this, is both virtual and in person. But in terms of where they come from, the largest contingent is still from China, and then America. And of course, this being in Singapore, there are also good representations in Singapore, and then Europe, Australia, Japan, and so on. As you can see, there is some relation to the attendance as well as the submissions as well. Now, this is the submission statistics. If you look at what happens this year, we have initially 729 submissions, but in the end, only 690 went for review because of desk rejects and so on. Overall, 123 papers are presented in the conference. That represents about 17.8% acceptance rate. This is very competitive, and it's aligned with long-term acceptance rate of Wisdom. And this is the 16th year that Wisdom is happening. Now, if you look at the review process, it was a big reviewing committee with almost 900 PC members and about 100 senior PCs. In the first phase, I think the papers were assigned to up to 5 reviewers. And the second phase, after discussions by the senior PC as well as the PC, the decisions were made by the PC chairs. And if you're wondering where the papers are coming from, I think largely they kind of mirror some of these distributions. Well, about half are coming from China. This is based on the corresponding author's email, because these are estimated, right? So, but now the second largest is America. And what you see in blue is the percentage of submissions. What you see in orange is the percentage of acceptance, I mean, among all the accepted papers. So generally speaking, they are more or less in line. Notably, Australia has pretty good acceptance, given the number of submissions they have. So, but that's more or less, we do have representations from all over the world in the conference today. Now, if we just look at, because this year, the paper submissions didn't require people to indicate areas. So we just look at the paper titles. So if you're just curious about what are some of the big areas, we look at the paper titles and submissions and paper titles that have been accepted. I think generally, the big topics are there like graphs, recommendations, learning, and so on, right? Just, but based on a simple data mining, right? Just at a glance, it's interesting that networks actually increase from the submissions to the acceptance, but network actually decrease. So you're gonna write network papers, you must use the plural networks and kind of get to a better acceptance, it seems. Well, just in that sense, I think you kind of get a sense of the distributions of the areas that we have as part of the program. Now, all these papers are online. They can be accessed from the ACM proceedings. In case you don't have to memorize the link, just go to our conference website, you go to program, and there's going to be the ACM proceedings, and you have access to all the PDFs there. So we don't give you thumb drives or printed stuff and so on, because everything is now available online. Now, we have a rich program. Yesterday, we had the tutorials and industry day, and now today is the first day of the main conference where there are going to be a number of things happening all within the next 3 days. And in the Friday, we are going to have, again, very interesting events, Smart City, Wisdom Cup, Doctor Consortium, as well as 5 workshops. Now, we're going to open each day with a keynote, and we are looking forward to the keynotes by the 3 distinguished speakers, Prof. Yachin Chang from Tsinghua, Prof. Barton Derek from Amsterdam, as well as Rosie Jones from Spotify. So for every day, right, today, tomorrow, and Thursday, be sure you're here by 9, and then you're going to see the keynotes. The papers are, some 52 papers are presented as part of sessions. So there are 9 paper sessions overall, depending on the areas and so on. So they all can be found in the program schedule. Now, something that maybe you can look forward to, we have the Best of Wisdom 2023 session, where we are going to feature the candidate finalists for the Best Paper Award. So there are 4 of them that have been identified by the Best Paper Committee, and they're all going to be presented tomorrow, 10:30 to 12 in this room as well. And we haven't determined the winner yet. So I think those in contention, also based on the presentation, I think the Best Paper Award Committee will finally decide on the winner, which we will announce in the business lunch on Thursday. Now, at the same time, we're also going to feature a presentation by the Test of Time Award in the same session as well. Okay, other than the oral presentations, some papers are presented as posters. And then we also have 2 demo sessions, one tomorrow and one on, okay, so there's a typo there. There's to be Thursday here, right? So one on Wednesday, one on Thursday. Now, we provide a lot of food. Coffee breaks are always available in between sessions. And lunch every day is actually provided. You just need to bring your conference badge to level 1 restaurant for most of the days, and they will let you in for lunch, except for Thursday lunch is going to be held here. So we're going to reconfigure the room so that we have dining tables and so on. And the reason why we do that is because we are going to have these award presentations as well as presentations by the wisdom leaders of the various conferences from 2023, what's coming out in 2024, and perhaps even what's coming out in 2025, as well as presentation by the steering committee of the wisdom itself. So look forward to that so you get a sense of how the wisdom itself is progressing over the years. There are 2 social events. We hope you won't miss it. We did a live poll on Mobile. We do encourage you to attend it. It's all included inside your registration. So these are not additional things that you need to pay for. They're already included. There's going to be a banquet tomorrow evening, and we're going to feature a couple of cultural performances as well. And finally, on Thursday, hopefully many of you are going to stay on for the social event, which will take you to the Singapore River Cruise, where you get a sense of the historical Singapore as well as the modern day Singapore, because that's kind of where the downtown Singapore is, and it's very beautiful at night. And we purposely schedule it around the sunset. So hopefully you can catch a sunset as well. Just a wet weather plan. We never know what's going to happen in Singapore. That's why we give you umbrellas. So do bring your umbrella when you get around in Singapore. So there are 2 live polls. I think we appreciate it if you can just kind of go to WOBA and fill in the live poll. It helps us in our estimation. We do wish to bring as many of you as possible. And I think we just want to make sure that we can cater to everyone. But at the same time, we don't want to oversubscribe and waste stuff. So I think in that case, I think we really appreciate it if you can just tell us on WOBA whether you're going or not. And that helps us in our planning as well. All right, so I think there are some tutorials that have been presented yesterday. I think here are just a series of them. There are some recordings. We probably are going to process those post-conference. So those of you who missed tutorials, maybe at some point in the future, you might be able to see them again once we made them available. There are a couple of special days, Industry Day and Smart City Day. Industry Day happened yesterday, but Smart City Day happened on Friday. They're both opened by invited speakers, Stephen Hoy and Ankur Tegadesai, respectively. And they feature various other events as well. In particular, the Smart City Day actually has the first ever ideation challenge. So it's kind of like a competition for the best ideas, sponsored by AI Singapore. So the finals are going to be held during the Smart City Day itself. Hopefully, some of you are going to turn out for that as well. We have Wisdom Cup. This year, we featured 3 sets of challenges. In fact, some of them have sub-challenges to them. They are attractive prizes. I mean, the prize pool is about $20,000 US. And it also gives them free registrations to the top 3 finalists of every challenge. And the finals are going to be, the finalists are going to be presented. Well, we're going to announce them in the business lunch, but if you want to see the presentations, then come to the Wisdom Cup Day on Friday. And there are going to be a series of workshops as well as doctoral consortium as well. So there are a lot of things to look forward to in the coming days. Now, sometimes for example, like today, we're going to end the presentations at 5, but there's going to be a poster reception in the evening. So you might have like an hour or 2 where you can take the time to go around. And these are just some of the nearby places that you can find around this location. That you can reach pretty quickly. I think just within walking distances, you can go to Chimes across the street. There are a couple of museums. And if you kind of are a bit more adventurous, you can do Esplanade, Gardens by the Bay, Marina Bay. These are some of the landmarks that you frequently see people taking pictures of when they come to Singapore. And we are grateful to the various contributors for the student participation. I think this year we have CIR that give student support for presenters. NSF gives support for the US-based students, and SIGWeb gives support for the economically developing countries. And students there, they get some free registrations, but virtually. So they don't even have to travel to Wisdom, and they can join us through the Zoom. And we are grateful to all the sponsors. We've got about $50,000 US kind of sponsorship from various sponsors. I think Huawei, Amazon, TikTok, Baidu, Etsy, and Google. And this is a shout out to our sponsorship chairs, Xiang Nan, Karthik, and Liang Jie, and they do help us bring in this, and which help us to provide a good conference experience to everyone. And there are also various other contributors. I think those who contribute student participation, to the Wisdom Cup prizes, Ideation Challenge, and also to Singapore Tourism Board, because they do give us a grant as well that helps us with the financing of the conference. And of course, we are grateful for the guidance of the Wisdom Steering Committee. And Andrew Tompkins, the chair, is actually here at the conference, and he will also be at the Wisdom Business Lunch. All right, I think then that's all. We hope that you enjoy Wisdom 2023, and welcome again. Yeah.